Alright, hello everyone. This is our May/June pickups video because we caught up for the rest of the year through May, and then there was some end of May stuff.
It's too hard to kind of keep up and do a video each month of our pickups. Plus, some of you like our pickup videos, but I know some of you are like, yeah, they're okay. So this, kind of
we're trying something new.
Both of everybody. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I'd say that's the best description.
And that way we can still show some of our favorites, things that we got, favorite games, video game related stuff and merchandise. So,
yeah, so basically we're going to go through some stuff. Let us know what you think of this format. If you don't like it, we'll change back to the old format. If you do like it, we'll continue with it. Or if you have any comments or anything, just let us know in the comment section.
Yeah, we're open to criticism, tough love, whatever you want to call it.
We're here for you. Alright, I'll go first. So, first thing I'm going to show is it's a game that it's a remake of one I really like, and the series I really like. And my nephew had a buddy who was getting rid of a bunch of his old games and game boxes and everything. So this isn't in the best of shape, but considering it was something that I got through Cameron's friend and everything, it was a cool thing when Cameron was like, hey, you want anything from this pile? And the game is Metroid Zero Mission, which remake of the first Metroid, and is a great game in its own right. And I've always wanted to play this one. I have Metroid Fusion for Game Boy Advance, but I don't have this one. Well, I do now. And really looking forward to playing that one. So that's the first pickup I wanted to highlight in specific detail because it's one I've been really wanting to play, and I know a lot of people think this is a really great version. So gonna check it out soon.
Friend of our nephew Cameron's, I got Pokemon Sapphire. Don't really have to explain it. A lot of you play Pokemon, know what the games are about, but I mean, not that I want to talk about price, but we paid next to nothing for this. And it's nice. It's in really good condition. These are hard to come by, for cheap.
Yeah, standalone, they're worth
like
quite a bit.
20, 25, 30, I don't know, various places have them at different prices. And this is in really good condition. It's not complete, but hey, like I said, just the standalone cart's usually like anywhere between 20 and 30, 35, I don't know. They're kind of all over the place. So it's nice to finally have this. I have the Fire Red of this, so it's nice to have the Sapphire. So, yeah.
So, a good buddy of ours, Gary, ended up giving me a couple empty cases of games that he had at one point, but he just had the cases and the instructions now. And one of the things he gave was really awesome, and that is Metal Gear Solid 4 Guns of the Patriots Limited Edition. So, one of the reasons I'm really glad to have this, not just because he gave it to me, which is really awesome, but the box art of the original game is pretty bad. It's just a close-up of his face.
I mean, Old Snake is pretty sexy, but...
Yeah, but it's a stupid, lazy box art. And Metal Gear Solid is known for having cool artwork. Even the Blu-ray bonus disc that came with it has a way cooler artwork. It has Old Snake again, but it just looks more stylized. He's kind of turning into a bunch of Metal Gear silhouettes from various Metal Gear Solid games. Really cool looking. So the fact that I'm now able to have this game, which I already had in my collection, but now complete with this awesome limited edition box art is really cool. And the only thing missing, I think, was the soundtrack CD. He couldn't find it, and I was like, dude, don't worry about it. The fact you're giving me this cool case is just so awesome. So thanks, Gary. Really enjoy it, and glad to have it in the collection.
Okay, so one of the games that I've been wanting for a while, however, I didn't want to pay full price before, that's something we try to do, is not pay full price for games, because obviously it can get quite expensive.
It's not worth it anymore, I'd say.
Yeah, and usually most games that come out within a few months drop down to 20, 40, or, drop down to 40, 20. I got that backwards. Sorry, the cat distracted me.
Get down.
But usually, in a very short time, things become a lot cheaper. In this case was the Hobbit, or Lego Hobbit. I've been wanting this game since it came out, not in December, it was March, I think.
I can't remember, because
It was in early spring. Yeah, it
so.
usually is around the holiday time. This one came out in the spring. I didn't want to pay, $60 for it, so I waited a few months, and we got it for a lot cheaper. It plays like the other Lego games, really not much different. A few things they added. I'm always prone to, any Lord of the Rings, like the last Lord of the Rings games.
Stuff. Oh, that was awesome.
Were my favorite, as well as like Lego Harry Potter. I really, really enjoyed Lego Hobbit. However, the only disappointment, and I wish I would have looked into this, it didn't include the third book / movie. The third book / or not book, but
yeah,
third movie, because Peter Jackson has to break these off into 3 movies when it's one freaking book. But the third part is going to be released as DLC. So that's
probably
one
when
that
the movie comes out.
Yeah, which I think is pretty lousy, because if you haven't read the book by now, then I don't know.
It's not like there's spoilers.
So this just played through Desolation of Smaug. I like saying that.
Smaug.
Which it was fun, but it was kind of disappointing, because that ended, and then it was like,
let's move on. Oh.
Yeah. So, but otherwise, a whole lot of fun. Very happy I picked it up to go with my other Lego games. All my other ones have been on Xbox 360, so I kept with tradition. Now I have that.
So the next game I got is actually one that I've been wanting for a very long time, and I was gonna get it in Albany next time we went, because Frank from Forgotten Freshness said he had a copy in storage that he hadn't brought out to the store yet. So I was gonna get it there, and he was gonna hold it for me. But I saw it locally, a little cheaper, and I believe he had it new, but I found it used, and it was still in really good condition. But it's a game I've been wanting for a while. I really am a big fan of old JRPGs, and this game has been touted as it feels like a 16-bit RPG, so I was like, oh, that sounds good. And it's made by Atlas, or published by Atlas, and any Atlas game, we love collecting Atlas games, just because they're always something cool and unique, and bring something that I enjoy in gaming. So it's one I've been looking for. It's Radiant Historia. It's a RPG, like I mentioned earlier, but what's cool is it's got a music CD inside, which with Atlas you always can count on cool packaging, extras. So yep.
Sharp.
The artwork looks nice, and I watched some reviews of it for years, because this has been on my list for a while, and I've always wanted it. So finding it locally, I was like, I gotta get it. So that was one I got, and I'm very, very happy to have that one in the collection.
It was one of the first games I played on NES back in the day. It was one of those weird ones that wasn't made or didn't come from Nintendo.
Yeah, it was not
licensed by Nintendo. Yep. Excuse me. And this game is called Big Nose The Caveman. This, like I said, was one of my favorite games growing up. My parents had this. I recently tried to obtain a copy. I was hoping she would have passed it down to me, but that's okay. The joys of being an adult and having an eBay account is you find some really cool things. So I now have my own version of Big Nose The Caveman. Box is a little beat up,
but it's complete.
Otherwise, it's complete. This is what the cartridge looks like. You can see it's very shiny. So you don't know how many times I went to, game stores and I'd see one of these shiny carts and I was like, oh my god, there it is.
It was always the Quattro 4-in-1.
Yeah,
so like
crap that is. And the other thing about these games, it's published by
Camerica, yeah, that's how it sounds.
Anyway, the cool thing about these games, or I don't know, unique thing, is they have this weird little hole in the back, which I still pretty much don't know.
Looks like there's a switch.
Yeah.
Maybe if it doesn't work on your system one way, try it the other way. Because again, it's not an officially licensed game, so.
Yeah, it looks like you switch it to 2 different positions. Position A, there's nothing written under it, and position B, only use this position if the game does not work with position A.
So. Ways to get around Nintendo.
Anyway, I love this game. It's super. I've never finished it, but I played it quite a bit. Music's just super catchy and it's just super charming.
I can attest.
It's so happy, and I was so happy when I finally got this, because this game I loved. It's right up there with Mario. I played this probably just as much as Mario back in the day, and Kirby. But yeah, I'm so happy to finally have this and complete and stuff. So it's a little piece of my childhood that I finally got back.
Plus, it's the TV advertised game of the month. How can you say no?
But yeah, nevertheless, very happy to have this back. So big nose.
Childhood is back. So next to me this whole time, you may have seen a corner of it. I don't know if it's in the frame or not, but it's this really cool Link Between Worlds poster.
Yeah, we'll have to
lower
shift
it so you can see it because there's reflection. It's actually, if you look at the artwork, it's the official artwork for it. One of the 3 posters that was through Club Nintendo had
Which we sadly missed.
Yeah, we missed that reward. And our nephew Cameron got it, but it's basically one of the pieces is the same piece. But I think it's more landscape instead of portrait orientation.
It's
but
positioned a little bit different, but
still looks the same though, and it was at Walmart. So.
Yeah, surprisingly. The place where you get posters and it's
Bieber,
Justin Bieber wrestlers, and they're all these
babes and
thongs with their ass cheeks right there in your face.
So pretty cool.
So I was surprised. I was like, really?
But very good to find that. So we'll find a spot for it in the house somewhere. But we love Zelda, and this game was great as well. So glad to have that.
It looked good. Alright, so I got a couple more things that I want to talk about. Not necessarily games, but video game related. Other
miscellaneous
category of other. This is something that's very unique, very different. To be honest, I haven't seen one of these before this point.
Yeah,
a friend of mine, I guess was cleaning out her basement or attic or whatever, hit me up on Facebook and was like, hey, do you want this? And I was like, sure, why not? And it is an official Nintendo NES holder.
I believe we looked it up online. It was the Lazy Susan because it spins.
Yeah, and it has Mario from Mario 3, I believe, on there, engraved on it. It was really good condition.
Yeah, it looks like brand new.
She said we might have to clean it up a bit. I don't know. It looks pretty good to me.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I really haven't seen too many of these on eBay. I think at the time when I looked it up, it was there's only 2 or 3 of them, and they ran for quite a bit of money, which doesn't matter to me because we're not selling it. This is just something to put in our game room and to hold our games.
It's just so cool. I love that it's got the engraved.
Yeah, it's so unique.
It's so nice.
It's really quite the piece. It's cool. It's cool and it's fun to spin.
If this was our house in the 80s, we would have had our NES hooked up to our main TV out here, and then had
pick a game.
Our NES games on here. So
you'll see. Well, normally they're supposed to go
in the sleeve.
So
yeah, can't put loose cards in.
Put it in sleeve. Put it in that,
perfectly right.
And then
So.
And then you can take it out, pop it in, you know. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty unique. I'm very glad to have that as part of our collection in our game room.
Definitely.
Alright, YouTube, so the last thing we want to show you, this is another piece in the realm of different, unique, I haven't seen it before. I don't think
this was just so cool.
A friend of ours had a launch party for Mario Kart 8 when it came out, which we did also obtain. Super fun. I don't have to tell you guys that because most of you probably have played it.
Yes.
I surprisingly got 3rd place, which I don't know. It's not the, you know, it's 3rd place, but hey, I was surprised because, you know, I'm up against game shop owners and other fellow nerds and people who probably been playing games a lot longer than I have.
More hardcore. Yeah.
Somehow I got 3rd place. I don't know. Maybe I was less.
I was booted out like 1st round. So.
I know. I beat him, which.
Not anymore.
Apocalypse happening. So this was my prize that I picked, and it's very cool. We have yet to put batteries in it, but it feels pretty solid. And it's the Super Mario 64 pinball machine. I really wish we had put batteries in it, but
yeah, we gotta test the lights out.
Yeah, but still, it's cool. The buttons seem pretty solid.
It does work. I mean, even without the batteries, it works to play pinball with it. Yeah. It supposedly has lights and sound. A little switch here. I don't even know what this does. Oh, maybe that's just the on-off switch. So, and then there's a reset for the counter.
But this is just really cool to have because, you know, I mean, who didn't love Super Mario 64 back in the day? And I love pinball, so I was taking 2 of my favorite things and combining them together.
I wonder where it originated from. Like, I don't know if it they sold them in stores or if it was a promotional thing. I don't know, but seeing that, we both were like, wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, and I'm glad because this was the prize I actually wanted, you know, of the prizes to be picked. So, you know, I got 3rd place. I'm like, all right, well, I'm probably not gonna get what I want. Surprisingly, nobody else wanted this, so this is what we got, and I'm really happy with it. So thank you again, Pat, because you know this was from you. And
thank you, Megan, for getting 3rd place.
Yeah. Hey, I'm excited about 3rd place. So yeah, these are our pickups. Oh wait.
Oh, there was one thing we did. Well, let's move this for a second. Now,
yes.
You know, typically, you may or may not have picked this up from our videos, but we don't trade or sell our games back. We're collectors. We like to find the games we're looking for and add them to the collection.
Enjoy them. Not just collecting them and putting them on a shelf and be like, okay, sit there, collect us, see you in another 10 years, maybe I'll sell you on eBay when I'm poor. No, we collect games, but we play them too. I mean, it's like a library of games, you know. I mean,
but even though we don't typically do that, we sometimes find doubles out in the wild for real cheap that we know we can trade in towards something else, something we like to do.
Yeah.
But then every once in a while, an opportunity presents itself where you could trade something that you don't want to necessarily get rid of, but to get something that, you know, I kind of want this right now. And this actually happened. We had an opportunity to take advantage of a pre-order that was never fulfilled, and for an item that we both were really interested in, but we were like,
we don't really have the money for it. You know.
But we traded some stuff in, and we were able to get a big discount.
We found a really lousy game for really cheap called Walk It Out.
Oh yes, that's right.
That and a few other things.
Yeah, a couple doubles, and then one RPG, because RPGs tend to trade for well. Managed to get us a Retron 5. Now, if you don't know what this is, the Retron 5 is made by Hyperkin, and they make, now that a lot of the patents have gone past for old systems, anybody can make their own that plays like old games. But this one has been hyped up for a long time because it plays 5 systems, well, even more if you take into account. There's Game Boy Advance, which also plays the original Game Boy and Game Boy Color in the same slot, so that's really 3 systems right there. And then Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, and even Famicom games. So you can play Japanese Nintendo games. And they all, for the most part, play really well. We've tried several games in our collection of different systems, and they all work except for maybe 2. I think Yoshi's Island didn't work. And maybe one other game didn't load the title, but when we pressed play, it loaded it up. What's really cool about this is that it hooks up through HDMI, so we're able to play these on our HD TV, and they don't look like crap.
Yeah,
which,
it looks amazing.
yeah,
I mean,
it looks awesome. And we put, it's debatable whether to do this or not, but we put the scan line effect on, which kind of gives it an old TV look, but really sharp. Without it, it feels almost like everything looks flatter. So I put it on there, and I think it looks more textured.
It gives it that classic look, you know,
yeah,
like
what we grew up on
it's
playing.
the 90s, and I'm playing them on like an old
Yeah.
TV. And I'm
But it gives you the option. So if you don't want to do that, you can plug in the original controllers for the systems that you want to play in there. Plus, it comes with a weird clicky controller, which I'll show you real quick.
This controller's
It's comfortable,
okay.
But it's very clicky.
It's just it sounds like a mouse actually, like an old school mouse.
Yeah, old mouse.
It's very clicky. It's a little awkward. This is probably my least favorite thing about this system.
But it's wireless. So that's
is
pretty
this
cool.
controller. So it's wireless. It's alright. I prefer to use the old, SNES controller.
Yeah, we got, and you can use the SNES controller for Game Boy games and stuff, so it really controls well. And overall, the only thing we haven't been able to do is update the firmware, because it has an SD card slot, and you can update the firmware, so if there's bugs, games that don't work, they can eventually have patches to download. But our computer doesn't have an SD card slot, and I can't get the USB SD card reader to work, so haven't updated it yet. So that might take care of some of the issues we've had already, but I'd say 95 to 98% of the time it's been.
Yeah, overall I really
good.
like it, and it's nice because we have all our systems hooked up. I don't know. It's
upstairs.
The convenience, and it's hot as balls upstairs.
Yeah.
Pardon my language, but it's just way too warm to be playing up in our game room. This is nice because it's convenient. It's all in one convenient little box.
Play it on the HD.
Yeah, so it's a great system, and this is definitely gonna get a lot of people into retro gaming because it's kind of hard to find. I mean, it's not hard to find like good old systems in good shape for a decent price.
They're all old, so.
So
30 years old for some of the systems.
You're either gonna find them and they're really beat up, or they're crusty or nasty, or you're gonna be paying way too much for them. This is nice. It's one solid price. It's $150, I think.
140, I think, was
$140
the
we
price.
got,
But we traded in a
places
bunch of
might
stuff
have
towards us, so we didn't have to pay even close to that. So.
So for $150, we pretty much have like all our old systems, and it's great because we've been playing through a bunch. We played like Joe and Mac, I think.
Joe and Mac.
We've
tried a ton.
Just a bunch of different games. So I definitely recommend it. Check it out. It's well worth it.
Yeah, they are coming out in waves, so you might not be able to find one right away. But as all the retro stores get them, the ones who have contacted Hyperkin to get a supply, as they get some in, if you see one there, definitely pick it up. It's really cool. It has an operating system as well, so you can use codes like Game Genie codes and stuff, and save states, which I know purists don't like the ability to save anywhere, but adults who have jobs and have to leave for responsibilities do like to be able to just save and continue later.
When you have a backlog as big as ours, we need to get through these games, so it's very helpful to have this. Save ability.
So, it's not really an official review, but I'd say we both give it a thumbs up. Try it out. It's definitely the best system that plays old games that's not the original hardware that I've ever played on. So, I think we both can agree that it's been a lot of fun so far. So.
And thank you, Mike, for recommending and really pushing us to get it.
Yes,
Very,
if
very
it wasn't for
happy
you, we wouldn't have gotten
us.
this.
So,
and we
thanks,
love
buddy.
It. So, cool.